The Timex Marlin is one of the most charming watches that I've picked up recently, and it has quickly secured a spot as a favourite on my wrist. You guys know I love to talk about watches, and this Timex Marlin is an absolute affordable gem. My beloved Tudor, the black bay that costs 30 times more, or my RS Silver Volante edition that costs 10 times more. Those more expensive watches, as well as everything else in my collection, has taken a bit of a back step because this Timex Marlin has taken a lot more wrist time, and I'm in a bit of a honeymoon phase with this watch. I've only picked it up quite recently, but even so, I've worn it quite often, and I want to share with you my honest thoughts. As a 1960s reissue, the watch sizing definitely reflects that period. It comes with a 34mm diameter, a thickness of 10mm, and a lug-to-lug of 40mm. The strap width or the lug width is 18mm. It's very small and tiny compared to nowadays, and that 34mm diameter will definitely put some people off. What I can say personally is I have worn smaller watches like my Casio AQ230, as well as just wearing watches in that 38mm to 40mm range, so quite small to medium I would say. But the sizing of this watch did not bother me, and I'm glad that it didn't, because when I put it on the wrist for my first time, I just loved the actual feel of it. It's a very comfortably sized watch. 34mm does not look out of place, and I think if you do have a bigger wrist than myself, I think this watch will look even more elegant than it does on my own. It honestly works really well. I think it looks awesome, and I think you guys will definitely be surprised when you buy this watch if you've not bought it already. If you're still on the fence, I would say try the watch in person if you can. If you're still on the fence because you're afraid that people may say you're wearing a lady's watch or a little boy's watch, honestly guys, I don't really care about what other people say about what I wear or how I look, and I definitely want you guys to take that attitude as well. Please don't let anyone else stop you guys trying something new or wearing this incredible watch, because honestly guys, once you stop caring about what other people say, it opens up so many opportunities in your life, and style is one of them. This sizing used to be the norm back in the 1960s, and as we all know, men back in the day were a lot more macho than they are now, and I personally love that this sizing is starting to make its way back. So onto the construction itself. We have a polished stainless steel case with drilled lugs for ease of use when it comes to swapping the strap, but also carrying that 60s styling. Sticking with that time period, you do see an acrylic domed crystal on the top, which actually makes up a decent chunk of that 10mm thickness. But as we all know, 10mm is definitely a nice slim watch, and this is definitely comfortable to wear, especially when you're wearing it for dress wear. As it is acrylic, I do expect you guys to be a bit more careful with this watch because it can scratch a lot easier than sapphire crystal. But if you do get any scratches on this watch, or you just want to be prepared, make sure you click the link in the description and buy yourself some Polywatch, as that will definitely buff out and help minimize any scratches. And on the bottom of the watch is a stainless steel case back with a bit of stamping that shows the Timex logo as well as any other information. On my particular watch, the stamping is not central to the actual case back, so that's just something to note with those of you that have OCD. This overall construction gives you 30 meters of water resistance, which is fine for a dress watch. In the previous adverts that Timex have made, they did a lobster test. I would not recommend doing that with this watch. It's perfectly fine when it comes to washing your hands or getting a bit of rain on it if you're walking out outside, but I definitely would not try the lobster test. If you're going to do that by yourselves, do it with a G-Shock, or if you're a baller, with a Rolex Submariner, but don't try that with this watch. On to the star of the show, which is the dial. I am absolutely in love with the dial. It's described as a silver sunburst dial, but to my eyes, I personally see more of a champagne dial in certain lights, and it just looks absolutely elegant. I think it just works so well, especially with that 60s styling, but also just making it so unique nowadays. It definitely stands out amongst all the Apple watches and all the more so stainless steel sports watches that people are wearing. This definitely just looks apart and just looks awesome, and I think in combination with the silver applied hour markers just works so perfectly, and it's still legible as well. The hands themselves are black, and it matches perfectly with the black crocodile patented strap. I see more of a lizard pattern because the actual scales are quite tiny. The strap itself is definitely one of the areas that this watch has cheaped out on. It's very stiff and it's not the most comfortable when you first wear it, but I will never replace the strap because I just think it looks absolutely killer with that silver dial. It's a great combination, and I'm going to keep it vanilla personally. But if you would choose a different strap, let me know in the comments down below if you have any recommendations that I can check out, because you may entice me to change it. And finally, on the construction, you do have a tiny crown which is going to be used to wind the mechanical movement and set the date and time. What is the movement, everyone's asking? I've looked online and there's no actual confirmation as to what the movement is. Timex themselves claim it's just a hand-wound mechanical movement made in China, and other people seem to think that this is a Seagull ST6, which is an automatic movement, but in this case without the rotor. If this is your first mechanical watch or you just want to know more about them, what you need to do when you first get this watch is continue to wind the crown until you feel a bit of resistance. You do not want to overwind these watches because it can hurt the mechanical movement, so make sure you remember that if you buy this watch. The movement is once again a place where Timex has definitely cheaped out a tiny bit. When it comes to its accuracy, I get 22 seconds plus or minus each day. If that accuracy is fine with you, then of course you know that this is a fine watch to purchase, but if you do want a more accurate watch, you should definitely look elsewhere. But when it comes to this watch and its overall package, like I said, this is a new purchase for myself and it's been taking a lot more wrist time recently over my more expensive watches, so you already know that I'm a fan of this watch and it's definitely why I'm doing a video for you guys. But one thing I would say is if you do want to consider this watch, look on eBay or online and see if you can purchase an original Timex Marlin, because you can pick those watches up for a lot cheaper than this one here. But guys, I want to know what you guys think about the Timex Marlin. Do you like this watch? Do you want to own it? Do you hate it? Let me know in the comments down below. I don't make a lot of money on YouTube, but one thing I love is talking to people that are interested in the same things as I am. I just love building this community, so make sure you write your comments down below. Like the video if you have, subscribe if you're new to the channel, stay safe out there, wear your watches and fragrances in good health, and I'll catch you guys next time.